Lunar readings. Go ahead and unmute.
Okay, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well, how are you?
I'm well. Do you agree or disagree with what the woman said in the video? Why or why not?
I agree with her to an extent. In the sense that if I feel that if you're the type of man that is going to be cautious of the type of women you sleep with, and you're also going to be mindful of your body count, I can definitely understand why your preference would be someone else with that, smaller body count. But if you're out here just sleeping with whoever, then you should be comfortable with your partner have doing the same thing in their past. And honestly, it's like at the end of the day, like I have four bodies, and for me that was like a big number for such a long time. Whereas someone else might look at that number and be like, oh, that's so small, and they're comfortable having 10 bodies. And it's really none of my business that they have those bodies. So long as you're practicing like safe sex, as she mentioned, and you're making sure that you're getting regularly tested, which you should be doing whether you have one partner or many partners, I think that what you do behind closed doors shouldn't affect someone's perspective of you. I'm not going to sit there and call somebody disgusting or tell them that I think it's disgusting that you have this because it has nothing to do with me. And if you don't want women like that, I completely understand your preference, but are you holding yourself up to those same standards? Because if not, then you're being a hypocrite.
All right. As a woman, do you think women should be more mindful of who they engage in physical intimacy with any more than men?
Absolutely. With women, not only are do I feel that men are a little bit more manipulative in the sense that they're going to BS you and feed you the things that they think you want to hear to get in bed with you. I think you need to go ahead and not peer pressure into the immediate sleeping with someone and actually take some time to get to know them, because not only are we more prone to STDs, we can also get pregnant, and we might have to carry that burden that it might just be a burden to you to carry the child of someone that you didn't want to spend the next 18 years of your life interacting with. And it's very easy for one parent to just dip out and you're stuck doing it yourself. So I 110% believe that it's extremely important for you to pay attention to what you're allowing into your body, unless you're ready to be like a parent and ready to take on that responsibility and possibly by yourself.
All right. Do you think there's an agenda among certain groups of people to encourage the sexual liberation of women?
Yeah, I do. I think that this is the smartest thing that could have come up in society to make women more quote unquote accessible to just whoever. If you're coming to the terminology in your head that, oh, what I'm doing is fine, there's no repercussions for it, then you're more likely to just act freely versus if you were being more cautious of with your actions.
Do you support the sexual liberation of women?
For me personally, who I am as a person, no. But that's because I have two young daughters who I wouldn't want to act that way. I would want them to love their body and respect it however they see fit. But would I be proud of my daughter for being out here sleeping with whoever, spoke her way? Absolutely not. I would definitely encourage her to be a little bit more mindful of who she's interacting with.
What's how old are you if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 26.
Oh, okay. What's your nationality?
I'm Hispanic. I'm from Mexico.
Okay. So you said you got four bodies, right?
Hmm.
Um, it I mean, having four bodies at 26 years old and two kids, um, as far as like only having four bodies at 26, as far as your upbringing, I'm not Hispanic, right? And I didn't
Hmm.
grow up in your household. Were I don't know who raised you, but did they have conversations with you about like just being modest and practicing chastity and not giving yourself up to any man that I don't know can put a smile on your face or winks at you? I'm just curious because that's not very common nowadays.
No, I think that I was very fortunate to have found relationships that I could be in long term. So I've only had those four relationships, and they've all been, several years. And whenever I'm not in a relationship, I don't want to take the risk of getting pregnant with just whoever. And that's a big fear of mine because I don't believe in abortion for myself. I, again, whatever you do behind closed doors, that's your business. But for me, that's not something that I think I could emotionally handle. So I'm not going to sit here and put myself in a situation where I might, be put in a situation that I can't handle. And who else am I to blame than to myself because it's consequences of my actions.
And before I move to the last question, one last question I want to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Um, so last night I had a conversation, and what the conversation was is a woman said that don't skip your whole phase. It'll come back and haunt you when you get married. So I'm just curious, being that, you've only, engaged in physical intimacy with men that you've been in relationships with, while you were in these relationships, did you have like single friends that were, out here being a hot girl and living their best life? And if so, did you ever, like, even just for like, even if it was just one time, like, did you ever think like, man, if I wasn't in a relationship, I could be out here, doing my thing with these men? Did that ever cross your mind?
I think that no, because I don't see the joy in just popping pussy for whoever. Like, to me personally, if I were just giving it out to everyone, I feel like that would take away from my experience with my partner or with my next partner. Like, I'm divorced now, and I've been celibate since my divorce because I don't want to just go out and just be with whoever. I can't meet someone who stimulates me intellectually enough for me to even be attracted on that sense. So I think that it's just different interactions for different people. And you can go out and have fun without sleeping with someone. That you have to be able to do that. I'm not sure if that's like a norm for people to go out and just hook up with a stranger for the night, but that's definitely not something that's just a burden I don't want to have. I couldn't imagine having to be worried about STDs. Am I pregnant? Who am I pregnant by? So that's just not a burden that I would want for myself.
Hey, I respect that a lot. But that's definitely the norm now. So a man having a high body count does not affect his ability to get a wife, but it's not the same the other way around. True or false?
I think it's false. I think men have kind of fallen into this like locker room type of talk vibe where it's like, "Oh hell yeah, you got 20 bitches. Yeah, you're the man."
Right.
Like, props. Whereas with women, unfortunately, they're shamed for it, which ultimately doesn't make you lesser of a person because you have a higher body count. It's just that's what you did, and maybe you've grown since then, and maybe that's just who you're always going to be, and that's okay too. But I definitely think that for women, it's more of a shameful thing. And for men, it's more celebrated. It's how many bodies can you get, not so much how many do you have. And I don't think I've ever even asked a man, how many bodies do you have? My concern is, are you STD free? Do you have any kids? What does your mental health look like? Like, there's so many other bigger conversations that you could be having than what's your body count. That's least of your worries.
Where are you from in the States?
Texas.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Luna. Go ahead and mute up. I'm gonna go to Did You Ask Him? I need to get out to Texas. Listen, if there is any woman in here that's from Texas, between the ages of 23 to, somebody said no, what's your body count? Randy, don't do that. If there's any woman in here in Texas between the ages of 23 and like 29, and you single and you looking for a man that you're going to take care of, you going to take care of me financially. You going to pay my phone bill, my one credit card. You going to feed me. You going to clothe me. If there is any woman in here from Texas that are interested in doing that, please make sure that you reach out to me after this live.